Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM23. This is Youth Factory, episode 25. We continue on with our most lengthy season we've had to date, with just so much action going on, multiple tournaments that, unlike last season, we're actually hanging in there on. But all in all, closer competition, tighter contests that has required a lot more first-hand intervention on my part to make sure that the team continues to perform as expected. For this one, we are in the FA Cup, third qualifying round, so we're nearly into that proper tournament. We're just a couple matches away from where we need to be, but this, our biggest test of the season so far. Not only is Gosport Town a division above us, but they lead their league, and they are comfortably leading their league. So it's a team well in form and a division above us. Also, by the way, this is a great time to mention the fate of Cornwall, as since moving up into the 8th tier, I haven't brought it up yet this season. When it comes to Cornwall and our particular goal to become the greatest club not only in the county but in the greater southwest region, as we get the opener here, so we lead 1-0. That was a really fantastic goal. Lanahan Penreese had some space with the ball over the top, takes a couple touches to get it under control, lays it off for Mortland, and Mortland just blasts that one from long range just inside the upper corner, straight as an arrow, but plenty of power on it. And we lead 1-0 in a game that so far is very balanced. So it's not exactly against the run of form, but in a balanced matchup to have an early lead like that is incredibly helpful. Fish really close, hits the outside of the net. Now, back to Cornwall. Cornwall, since leaving behind the 9th division, now that we are in the 8th tier, there's nothing. At least not at the start of the playthrough. There may be a Cornwall club that has snuck up into the 8th tier. Entirely possible. I wouldn't know without going back through one by one to check. Pre-start of the series, in the real world, there is not a single Cornwall club in the 8th tier. There's not a single Cornwall club in the 7th tier. 5th tier and above has not a single Cornwall club. There is one in the 6th tier. That's Truro City. They're not in the 6th tier any longer here. Here, they've fallen down to the 7th tier. They are one division above us, in the same division as Gosport Town. So they have plummeted. They are below our opposition here. We lead 1-0. Now, in theory, one could give a small argument to say that we would be better than Truro City if we can beat Gosport Town here today, right? They're above them, we beat them. In theory, they're still a tier above us. We still have some ground to go. We still have a couple of tiers to climb. And in theory, I'm going off of in real life more so than what I'm going off of in the flow of the game. As much as I'm keeping an eye on it, I think getting above that 6th tier is going to be the key. Now, once you get ahead of Truro City, that's it for Cornwall. You become the best club. So we are now number 2 in all of Cornwall. Got a long ways to go yet when it comes to Devon, Somerset, Dorset, the whole southwest. We're not there yet. In one county, things are looking good. Second half underway with that 1-0 lead still intact. We've just about been the better team now. Where it had been balanced, we've had more chances than them. But overall, it's clear that this is close. Just as the league has been a lot closer for us this year than in previous seasons. A team at the top of the tier above us, when we're even playing well, is a bit of a struggle for us. I mean, we have 2 guys with a 7 rating. The guy who scored, the guy who assisted. That's it. Everybody else is in a 6, and we are suddenly 20 minutes to go with, I think it was 7-3 on shots in the first half. 25 minutes played in the second half. Not one attempt on goal from either team, if I'm correct in my assumption here. A lot of yellow cards, though. This could come down to a second yellow for someone somewhere. Let's go ahead and get Gordon out as he's struggling and on a yellow. And we'll get Lanahan Penreese out as well. Get some fresh legs on the wings. Trainer is quite tired. I don't Well, Thornhill could come in for him. You know what? It's FA Cup. I will have 5 substitutions available. Let's go ahead. Yes, 5 substitutions, 3 stoppages. We're going to bring on Thornhill as well to play on top. Trainer is flipping exhausted. Squad rotations here a little bit. 2 guys on the back line with Evans and Kitching both in to get a couple guys rest, but otherwise... and it's not Redknapp out. Redknapp switched to the left-hand side. McFadden hasn't had a rest. Webb hasn't had a rest in a long time. Both of them were pretty tired. They are available on the bench. Could come on in a pinch. We certainly have some fatigue in the guys that are here. But 3 substitutions coming. Corner kick coming for Gosport. They haven't shown us much, but Grigg comes out and grabs that one. Well done from Grigg. Not something I've been able to really say at all this season, except for maybe once. Happy with that occasion. Stupid confirmed changes. I'm sitting there going, why aren't my changes happening and why can't I make tactical changes yet? Fish. Nice control. Lays it off for Gordon. Gordon takes it to the corner flag. Trainer! And there it is. Second goal. That should do it. Right before the substitutions. Happy they held off a little bit there. Great cross from Gordon. Trainer just rises and beats his man. And that should be us getting through. Let's go with that time wasting and playing for set pieces. No other changes necessary right now, but that should help slow the game a little bit. By the way, I am a fan. I know a lot of people aren't. I've heard plenty of complaints. A lot of backseat drivers out there, myself included for that matter, but I'm a fan of the new rules this year in the Premier League regarding, is it just in the Premier League or is it all over? Is it new FIFA rule? As far as I know, it's just a Premier League rule at this stage, but the nice overlap here. Nice cross. Corner kick. I'm a fan of the added extra time. Here's the problem. People are proposing that we just go to a stop clock, right? You're worried that they only play 54 minutes a match out of the 90. So adding the extra time should slow down the time wasting a fair bit. 3 minutes of match does not suddenly take a 54-minute average and turn it into a 90-minute average, though. But could it push it to a 57? Well, obviously. Could it push it higher? I think actually yes. I think it could push it to 59. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see a 59 or 60-minute average this year. One example in particular in the first match, anyway, it was one match, but Newcastle was very much not doing their time wasting from the first minute of the match, which they of course had the lowest average by some margin, and everybody else plays them twice and it lowers their average significantly, as that one goes pretty close there, but time is just about up here. No time to make additional subs. We'll just let it play out. But some argue you go to a stop clock and that fixes it, right? The clock only moves. Play 60 minutes instead of 90, and clock only moves when ball is in action, when ball is live. Great idea. Except one massive problem with it. You'll get your 60 minutes that way, without a doubt. But to achieve that, what's it at the cost of? Advertising. The cost is going to be advertising. You don't think for 1 second that any stoppage in play, every corner kick, every goal kick is suddenly going to be a commercial break. Just like every other sport. That's what I love about this sport. I've not fully, but I've just about given up on the American version of football. Almost given up on it entirely. The NFL I gave up a long time ago. College football, my alma mater, I'll still watch them, but even then, I'm not catching every game of the season anymore. I'll watch highlights for a handful. I'll watch a part of a game. I'll join in third quarter and catch the last quarter and a half, because it takes forever. It's 2.5 times the length of a soccer, aka football, world football match, without all the excitement. And so much of it comes down to just the insane amount of breaks. So as much as a stop clock would instantly resolve time wasting, and then proper time wasting would be back as a thing, as in take the ball to the corner flag, keep it in play. This is a step in the right direction. It's not a full fix, but I absolutely think it will add into extra minutes played. Minimum 3, probably closer to 5, which will get us, to 58, 59, maybe 60 minutes of play. And that was the goal. Adding time at the end of the game will lead to less time wasting. If they know that they're not getting away with it, they'll back off. And I like the extra time on stoppage time with a team's time wasting, especially because that's when it's at its worst. Following the Gosport victory, we're heading into our next FA Cup, the 4th qualifying round, which means we're now one step away from the FA Cup proper, from the first round of the FA Cup. My oh my, it's taken a lot of games to reach the first game of the FA Cup, but that's how it works. They cater to the big teams instead of acknowledging just how many rounds it takes to kind of reach a final. I'd rather see the first round be the first round, but anyway, not an important detail, very minor thing. We have finally taken a loss. Despite all the challenges we have faced and the close matches, we have not lost a proper match. We still haven't lost a proper match, even though we've taken our first loss. Following Gosport, we beat Bournemouth 2-1, Bournemouth FC. We beat Bridgewater 4-0. Pretty comfortable on that one. It was a penalty in that 2-1 victory. But a 1-1 draw against Hebburn. At home. That part hurts. But it's the FA Trophy, 3rd qualifying round. You must have a winner. And so as a result, we end up going to penalties. And Mickey Norris, the assistant manager, picks Mickey Norris, and he misses the penalty, and he's the only one missing his penalty, but they scored 5 for 5. That was Norris's first appearance of the entire year. Late off the bench. I certainly would not have selected him, but this was a squad depth thing. Clearly, he has good technique. He has terrible finishing. Absolutely terrible finishing. But he is an okay penalty taker with an 11, but with such poor finishing, apparently, he couldn't get it on target. Norris was definitely a more regular part of the team for a couple of seasons. He was in that first recruiting class where we brought him in late, and he was part of that initial squad, but you can see with a team that absolutely dominated, he was the weak link for 2 seasons. 14, 19 appearances, he was an off-the-bench kind of a guy. And finally, by last season, I relegated him entirely out down to the U21s, where he had just 2 appearances last year. That being his first one this year, but not a league appearance, so it's still not even showing up. But he has us crashing out of the FA Trophy. Fortunately, it was not in a competition we were expected to do particularly well in. Either way, though, it is an early exit from that one. The good news for me is it's going to help us recover a little bit. But with 2 solid league performances, we find ourselves up to 2nd place. Still 3 matches behind Jersey Bulls, but it's still the lowest played number of league matches in the entire league. But the good news is we are now competing at or near the top, just 1 point behind FC Bristol now. 1 match fewer played than them. They've now had 3 draws. Taunton Town, Tavistock, Bridgewater, we have not played them yet. I think we've kept just about enough squad rotation going on here to continue to play well, but also to avoid injuries. We've been so lucky, so fortunate that we've only picked up a couple very short, minor, few-day injuries. But the fatigue levels are still very, very high as we get into this later portion of October. We continue on here with that FA Cup match, 4th qualifying round, final qualifying round before we're into the proper tournament, and it's Brackley Town. Brackley Town is another 7th-tier side, Southern Premier League. That is our future home, if we get promoted this year, that is. So we're up to 2nd in the league right now. Things are looking good on that front. We still have those extra games in hand as Atkins draws a foul there. Dangerous free kick position. Trainer is going to take it. Thornhill not in the side, and he hits the underside of the crossbar, but it doesn't slide in. It comes back off the post. Not quite. The cross is there, but it's a little bit behind the player, so by the time he retreats to it, he gets it pointed the right direction, but can't get over the top of it well enough to keep it down. Gordon, maybe offside, deflected, no flag raised, so it might have been on. I keep trying to get that always press button clicked in there. Penrith, nice job keeping that one in. Gets it back. Trainer again hits the crossbar. Second time already in this match, just 23 minutes in. Moreland, a little lucky to get away without a yellow on that one. Trainer, free kick outside of the net. Nearly hits the bows. He's looking for a trifecta on that occasion. All that would be left at that point would be the left-hand post. Fatigue is high right now, squad rotation-wise. I've only taken the one player out, as I think we're looking at a pretty hefty challenge here from Brackley when you take two particular factors in play. One, they're good. They're fourth place, so they're only a couple spots down on Gosport. Two, our fatigue level is higher than last time we played them, or last time we played Gosport a few weeks back. Meaning, it's hard to expect the most out of the team. We also may not be in as good a form as we did take that loss out of the FA Trophy as well. How many players have taken well to that occasion? Ooh, Webb called for the foul on that one. Might have been a shove there. Probably was. Gordon keeps that in. A little bit dangerous. He really could have let that one go out, but we are absolutely not at all dominating this. Quintafera, great tackle there. That was a great play from the leader. Hokie looked offside, and the flag is raised. I guess we can play for set pieces. I don't mind. Trainer, especially tired, doesn't quite have the legs to be chasing it. But here's Fish. Fish in the box, but he's going to lay it off deep to Mortland. Mortland takes two stabs at it, each blocked, cleared. McFadden now throwing. McFadden in possession again. Lays it off for Fish. Can't handle the double team. They're squeezing us out wide. And as we switch the play, their man wins the ball. Gets to it before Gordon. Gives it to the keeper. And they're going the other direction. Walsh looked onside there. Good recovery block. But it is out for a corner kick. We've nearly played an hour already. No subs have been made yet. And with the heavy level of fatigue, I might have to do something in particular, and I'm not a fan of this one. This could alter the course of the fate here, but I really need to make a move with a super fatigue team leader here. Webb is tired. Let's bring on Kitching, and we'll make that double change. Gordon clears. Yeah, see, Trainer's just unable to make runs, so as good as he is. And Walsh is able to make runs. He was onside there. Fortunately, he makes a big mistake on the attempt. Fish finds Thornhill. Thornhill blasts it over, but that's already something that we haven't been seeing from Trainer other than on set pieces. Penrith, Atkins, Evans. Gordon cuts inside through four defenders, but finds a McFadden way out on the outside. And the switch play. Thornhill. Goal kick, which means that was off the crossbar. I didn't hear it cling. Grigg with a huge stop, stepping up. It's about his third big play of the year that we've seen, and we've played a lot of matches. That time, that's off the... that one was off the crossbar. Very similar to what happened with ours. Kitching, 75 minutes played. Getting late in this thing. We might be looking at a replay in their house. Fish, Gordon, Atkins. I really don't want to replay. Let's just go for it. You know what? Let's go for it. What's the harm? If we lose, so be it. Our schedule gets lighter. I really don't want extra matches. Let's really go for it. We're going to be aggressive. Pick up the tempo as well. Fresh legs. Gordon, Thornhill, off the wall, corner kick. Let's give a chance to the rookie. Callum Bond's going to get in there. Fish. You know what? Maybe we need to swap this out. Move Bond over. Bond can play in that attacking mid role. Evans, long ball. to no one in particular. Thornhill, great job retreating to get that, and here's a chance. It's 2-on-1. It's Bond. Over the top for Thornhill, on side. Number nine, looks like he's playing fullback, was so deep that he was playing him on side. At the Farah, long ball. Bond's not winning any of these. Kitching, his long ball. Banda was offside. Flag raised. Stoppage time. No. Get a result either way. I don't care which. I mean, I do care. You know which one I want, but no, not another 90 minutes. Not another 90. Uh-oh. Go get it, Banda. Get it. Penrys. Free kick. Fish. No. Time's about up. Atkins. Fish. Ooh. Penrys trying to make that run. Replay time in Brackley in the rain. Quintafera already making a big play. A little more squad rotation today out of necessity. 3 guys sitting this one out. Thornhill on top. Trainer getting a rest. Guthrie, U18's player who's made 1 or 2 appearances off the bench in previous matches. FA Cup matches, I believe, or FA Trophy matches, is getting the start today with Fish desperate for a rest. McFadden also desperate for a rest. Getting it. Webb. Already on a yellow card. Yikes. Very early for that. Hokey onside. And Brackley lead. Hokey making those through runs that are really dangerous to us right now. Really having a hard time dealing with him. 0.03 XG here in the first half as we approach halftime already. The recipe is just not working at the moment. First time in a long time, there are players to criticize. There are players to have that specific talk with after the match. Thornhill is just doing terrible. We need to make a change. Trainer's going to come on. Gordon needs to get out of there. So Kasango Matumbo. Atkins on a yellow. Let's go ahead and bring in Kitching. Webb and Quintafera very tired. Let's go ahead and confirm those changes. Now we are starting to take control of the match a little. Oh, and Webb gets injured just after that. Not good timing there. McFadden will have to play. After all, Redknapp's going to have to play inside. Actually, no. Tom Evans has played inside a lot. We'll switch him back to his normal position. Put Evans inside. Well, there comes the injuries finally. This match wouldn't have been happening. We would have been playing today anyway. In fact, it was the Bristol City team top of the league that we've been chasing. We're down to 5th place in the league right now, but simply from not playing. Got to start getting a little more attacking if we're going to get back in this. 20 minutes to go. I don't mind if we're out, but I'm not going down without a fight. Right, ball over the top for Penrys, and that's blocked out for a corner. Really well-timed run. Fantastic weight on the ball. Really good control from Penrys. McFadden. Kasungo Matumbo. Moreland loses it. Nice quick recovery there, but end of highlight. We certainly have the XG for a goal now. The amount of attempts, but we have not had any on target. Not one shot on target in this match. Penrys. Team's playing well. I don't want to mess that up with a talk right now. Good chance there. That was finally one on target, by the way. First one of the match. Took Trainer getting in there. Stoppage time now. Looks like our FA Cup may be coming to an end. But the chaos of our schedule, it's going to be a while before it settles finally. But the chaos cause, the chaos factor, is going to be relieved. We're out of the FA Trophy. We appear to be on our way ahead. Greg, come on, Greg. Yeah, that's an easy save. That was right over his left shoulder. plenty of time to react. He doesn't even miss the ball, but he doesn't palm it away. It looks like he hit it off his wrist. That was entirely on Greg. And a game in which a 1-1 was the right result, we lose 2-0. Webb's injury, just a bruised knee, 1 to 2 days, he'll be okay. I'm grateful for that because we've had a rough go of things here. Here's how we're looking now. Going forward though, short term, now that we have the schedule prepared to lighten up, it's still going to be weeks before it actually happens. We have all these backlogged games that we have got to play. And it's amazing that that's even happening because we've been playing 2 matches a week for more than 2 months straight. We've had 9-10 weeks of 2 matches a week straight. 20 matches or so in that stretch. That's insane that we've even had that many, and we still have a backlog of games to try to catch up on everybody else on, because they haven't all been played 2 games a week. They've had more of a break than we've had, but we've had that many between the FA Trophy and the FA Cup matches. It's just insane. But the very high injury risk is a big concern. We have a lot of players right now with some amount of increased risk and injury susceptibility. A lot of above average players. Ryan Gordon is high. Thornhill, Kasungo Matumbo are very low. Hutchings, our backup goalkeeper, is very low. But otherwise, what happened to average? Chris Webb, who just got hurt in the last game, is the only player on the senior squad that's normal. That's crazy. But the heavy and very heavy match loads, I just can't get around. Hutchings is the only one not playing, but that's because he's behind a goalkeeper, and Riggs not even good, but you don't want to risk going even lower with that. That's definitely still a concern. We've been lucky so far to just have the 2 or 3 minor injuries that did not last long, and we take on another. But with the exit from the other tournaments, it's going to take a while to settle down, but once it settles down, I think we're going to be in cruise mode till at least January, till that next transfer window, when all hell could break loose once again. I think largely I suspect Trainer is going to be gone, but other than that, that should be about it. Hopefully we can get him loaned back to at least finish out the year, but then that's where things are at. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.